Hi, class 8787. Happy Kids Day. I know you're not kids, but finally I'm getting around to making this video. So we started to use this book, Speak Your Mind 2, and we looked at these questions. You guys did well. I just want right now to talk about some of the vocabulary in here, okay? So on page 12, it starts with the word hassle. Now, hassle can be a verb and a noun. So hassle, like if it's a noun, we'll say, oh, my dad doesn't like to travel through an airport because there's too much hassle. Okay. So in other words, there's too much bothersome stuff. Okay. X-rays, take your shoes off, check your luggage, all that kind of stuff. But also, if someone's like phoning you at 11 a.m., did you decide? They phone you at 1 p.m., did you decide? Phone you at 4 p.m., did you decide? Then you can say, stop hassling me, like this, okay? So it just means like stop bothering me. That's a good word, okay? Good. Frantic. Frantic is on this page as well. Frantic means that you're basically your emotions are so strong that you're you don't really care about things anymore. Like if someone loses their child at Shinsege, normally you don't go run around Shinsege screaming. But if you lose your kid, you might. If you lose your kid, you might like, where are you screaming? And we'll say someone's frantic. Okay. It means they don't care what it looks like. They don't care about it being embarrassing, but they're just frantic. Okay. So frantically running. It's also very common as an adverb. Okay. Frantically. On page 13, there's temper, which you guys should know. Flair. We often use the word. Look up the word collocation. I think some of you we've talked about collocations. Collocations are words that are usually together. Like naturally in English, we put these words together. So like, we always say like express train or something like that. We don't usually say quick train. Not that quick train is wrong, but express train is like a collocation, okay? It's words that are usually found together. And the word flair, we usually have it together with the word violent or violence, okay? So we say violence flared up. Like maybe in Nepal after the earthquake, we'll say violence flared up. It's like a fire that's come up or something like that. So we'll say violence flared up. Plague. Plague we talked about. Plague can also be a verb. Like just, maybe we'll say the baseball player after his career, he was plagued by shoulder problems. It's like shoulder problem every month. Shoulder problem. So we say plagued as a verb. Okay. Itinerary is a fancy word for schedule. Itinerary is a very common word if it's a schedule for a trip. Okay. For work, we usually say work schedule. It's another collocation. You could say work itinerary. It's fine, but usually we say work schedule. For vacation, we'll say itinerary. Like if you go on a cruise, like a cruise of Europe, maybe they'll have an itinerary. They'll say, like day 1 in France, day 4 and 5 in Spain, day 8 in Italy, like that. Okay, so this is an itinerary. Sounds like a good itinerary, actually. So, okay, on page 14, there's some good things there. Exotic, you should know. Hangout, you should know. Spare. Spare has a couple meanings. Spare, like if we say spare tire, it means extra tire. Or if you go to someone's house, they say, oh, we have a spare bedroom. It means like an extra bedroom, a bedroom we don't use, a bedroom for guests. This spare here, we also use the word Spartan. I know Koreans use the word Spartan in a different way, but Spartan will say very simple or very spare. So like if I say, oh, the hotel room was very spare, it just means that there's maybe just a bed and maybe a small clock, a small nightstand for your clock, and that's about it. So on page 15, there's chaotic. My house is chaotic right now. I hear some children at my door. So there's lots of kids here for Kids Day. So the house is chaotic, like noisy and loud, and no one's listening to rules and all that kind of stuff. Congestion. On page 15, there's also the word congestion. If someone is coughing like this and there's lots of stuff in your throat, we say he's congested. Or we talk about traffic congestion, which is a harder word for traffic jam. Okay, traffic jam. Yeah, orient yourself. This doesn't happen anymore because of GPS. But anyways, hustle and bustle are always together. We talk about the hustle and bustle of the city. It's almost always used to describe a city. So we'll say like, "Oh, how was your trip to Seoul?" Now, oh, it was good, but oh man, there's a lot of hustle and bustle in that city. Okay, so don't worry about the T sound in these words. Okay, hustle and bustle. The T in both words is quiet. Okay, the hustle and bustle, or we say the hustle and bustle of city life, like that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah, and then there's a few other words. Resume, you should know on page 16. Resume, postpone. So when we studied phrasal verbs, postpone means put off. Put off. Okay. Cancel, turn down. Turn down means refuse, okay? And then page 17 is setback. Setback, okay? You should know all these words, but this video is getting to be too long. So if you need help with any other homework, let me know. Take care. Goodbye.